nice piece of landscaping on there. The building is used on a daily basis by hundreds and hundreds of people. And it's been a great thing. But, you know, we would like to keep it in a manner that's attractive. You know, we would hate to see this have to turn off the water and let all of that area, half of that area, dry out. So our question would be, is a project of this type, based on the fact that we've been harmed by groundwater contamination, would it be eligible? Okay. And also we would need, obviously, engineering staff to be able to come up with an appropriate, I gave you a back of the envelope estimation of what I think it would cost. But, and also we were wondering if matching funds would be required, or if some of the work could be done by force account, we'd be willing to do that. We have a number of contractors that would help us. But, you know, again, it's a small project, and I was going to ask you tonight if you would consider a set-aside for small projects that might be eligible for funding from your agency. I say a small set-aside. I said, you know, we got $1 million which could set aside for projects similar in nature to this that would help. Certainly, I would base it another argument. You know, we're using last year alone 10 million gallons of water. That's a lot of water that's coming out of those River. We could eliminate a good portion of that, and the 50 to 60% of the area that we think that's 5 or 6 million gallons of water that's staying in the river rather than coming to East Mercury Street and being used for irrigation purposes. I still think we're very, very attractive. I spent some time in Las Vegas with children that live down there, and I see all kinds of places where they're doing this desert scathing because of the fact that water shortage. So, you know, my question tonight would be, would this be an eligible project? You may not be able to answer that question tonight. Or also, is this something that we should continue to pursue? And if it's not, we'd like to have an answer. Say, you know, stay home and watch TV tonight rather than coming into these meetings. I've been to enough public meetings tonight to go to any more. Those are my comments, and I'd like to get some comments.
Go ahead. Don, we did take your letter and logged it in, and Larry Kern has asked NRD to put together a kind of a running list of ideas that they get, and I just distributed that list to him tonight, and that your project is on that. As far as legally, would it meet the threshold? Obviously, the only lawyer in the room is the guy behind you. Hi, Brian.
Yeah, but I'm not Rob Collins. My opinion doesn't count. It does.
So, I guess from that standpoint on that, all these ideas will go through the legal review first. Okay. And then
I would base the argument on the fact that, you know, we're returning, not returning, but we're not using 5 million gallons of water that's coming out of the Bengal River every day.
Yeah. And I guess, I think everybody here probably understands the connection to groundwater there. And I think that idea that you put out about set aside $1 million for small projects is an idea that I don't know that we've heard before. And it's stuff like that that...
Well, that's exactly what I was just going to say, Elizabeth, is that concept that Mr. Peeble brings up is new and very interesting to me. And I think it's something that we should explore, because I just know that I think the majority of these dollars are going to be consumed by a few major projects, but I think that we could have a real big impact on our community if we did do something like a set aside and look at a greater number of smaller projects that have smaller impacts, but still as a collective whole could maybe have a greater impact across the board. So I think it's a great concept.
I agree. Let's add it to our list.
Okay.
I might ask, Helen, I know she's well versed in the groundwater problems down there, the work she's doing. What is the status of your studies to this point?
Yeah, basically, we did a long-term pumping test to determine the quality of the water with a lot of water pulled from that system. About 2 years worth of irrigation, and the water quality did level off to not bad quality, but certainly in exceedance of irrigation standards. We did some treatability tests, and we put a small treatment system there at the Belmont. And last irrigation season, we ran that various ways, upset conditions, and in all cases, we were able to upgrade that water to meet irrigation standards. And then I'm working on a proposal now to use that system to irrigate east of the head frame, the whole area, using treated water. Again, finding a beneficial use for the groundwater in the area, reducing the impact on the Big Hole River. But yeah, it was very easily treated.
I must tell you that when we thought we had a good source of water, and that, again, it might stain the sidewalks that we could put up with that. Sure, it was within days after we started irrigating it, I noticed this orange film on the grass.
Yeah, very quickly, yeah, the iron is reduced.
That's what we wrote to you in our letter, is that that was our concern, it was the iron from the data. It was very clear that that iron could kill the grass, and it stained the sidewalks like we told you it would.
And it's reduced in the underground, and then when you start spraying it, of course, it oxidizes, and then it goes from iron 2 to iron 3. Then you get the rust.
Days went by, and I kept on looking at it, and I kept on saying, that looks like it's turning orange to me. One day when I was my handkerchief and like, an orange handkerchief.
Yeah.
Can I ask, what treatment system?
It's oxidation and lime.
So you have like pumped it into an open,
Yeah, we pumped it
lagoon
into a
and then-
surge tank, and then we oxidized it. Because by oxidizing it first, you had to use less lime. Then lime treatment, we did it both ways though, but, and used peroxide to oxidize it. And then lime treatment to various pH levels. And,
Roughly cost per ton?
yeah, and it wasn't, in our demonstration last year, we were like over treating with hydrogen peroxide. So this year we're gonna run it at a higher rate so that we can have enough water to irrigate the entire area and optimize it for reagent usage.
Some brownfield project?
Well, we actually
It's
received
BNRC.
mine waste money,
Yeah.
initially a grant from EPA to do this. But my question to you is this a project that Natural Resource Damages would fund the treatment long term?
I don't know, right now DNRC is funding the project. So,
Yeah, frankly, we would hope that they have great success. And I'm not optimistic that anything in the short term is gonna alleviate our situation. What I am suggesting is that if we put that in the desertscape, we'll do it nicely and do it, so it's very attractive. I tell you, I've seen places in Vegas that look outstanding. They use different colored gravel, and, I think that in the short term, this is something that we could do within the next year, and again, we can bring some resources to in the form of in-kind contributions, contractors and from others to help move this thing along. We built the Moon Activity Center at an appraised value of over $5 million. Over $1 million of that was done by Force County, by volunteer help. So we could put the same level of effort into this project as well, with a little bit of money from you folks.
all right.
Mr. Peoples, did your letter capture all your arguments?
Well, it's not my letter. My son is the author of the letter.